So I'm Lauren and welcome to my channel, and I love all things books, and today, and for however many days this takes, I will be doing my first ever reading vlog, and we are going to read Legends and Lattes by Travis Baldree. I've never done a reading vlog before, so I don't know how this is going to go, but I've also never read a cozy fantasy book before either. I've never really read any fantasy, so that's why I really wanted to do a reading vlog of this and sort of document it. So in mid-September I joined BookTok after a couple of weeks of sort of consuming content over there and not really posting anything. And if you are part of BookTok, then you will know that fantasy is a hugely popular genre over there, and I was convinced that fantasy was not for me. I mean, it still might not be, but I was absolutely convinced that fantasy wasn't for me. But somehow I have now ended up with a big long list. By the way, there is a cat behind me about to get himself really comfortable in my seat. Yeah, I have now got a big long list of fantasy books that I want to read. So this is the first fantasy book I've bought. I bought this when I first started watching BookTok content, and I thought this would be a really good place to start. Like, I know this is cozy fantasy, and I know it's a lot different to like fantasy, but this just seems like a really good way to like dip my toes into it. Like it says on the cover, it's high fantasy but low stakes, so there are no epic quests, there's no world building, it's just fantasy but really cozy and simplistic. So I'm really looking forward to this. Like I say, I don't really know the ins and outs of reading vlogs, so we're just sort of going to go with the flow with this and see how we get on. But I hope you enjoy joining me while we read Legends and Lattes. I also do just want to add, you are probably going to see a lot of me in pyjamas this week. So it is currently 7:15 at night. I do the vast majority of my reading on an evening and in bed. So on the occasions where I am reading this in bed, I won't be doing my reactions and my thoughts on it straight away. It'll probably be the next morning, because I'm not just going to like whip the camera out when I'm in bed. But yeah, the evening ones are going to be me in my pyjamas. I am not getting myself all dressed up for the vlog because I like to be in my pyjamas on a night. So you will be joining me on this little reading journey while I am predominantly in my pyjamas. Been reading on and off for a little while. It's quite late now, which is why I look rough as anything, but I am 66 pages into this book now. So the next chapter I'm on is chapter 7. This is everything that I wanted and more. So if you'd not gathered, this is going to be like a deep dive into the book, so there are going to be spoilers. There's no point in doing a reading vlog and not like discussing in detail what I'm reading, so I'm not even like going to try and cover anything up. So there are going to be spoilers, so you've had your warning. But yeah, I'm 66 pages into this now, and this was one of those books that within the first couple of pages I could just tell I was gonna love it, and that's not happened for quite a while. But yeah, I've been in a reading slump on and off, and because I'm really tired tonight as well, like I just wasn't sure how well I would get into this book, like how far I'd get into it. My husband is out tonight and it's going to be another really late night. He's not going to be back while late, so I am going to go and get in bed and read a little bit more if I can stay awake, but I won't be doing another update on it tonight. But so far, all the characters that you are supposed to really like, I absolutely love. Like, Viv is great. I really like Cal. I don't know why, there's something about him that I really like. Tandra's not been in it for very long. We've got to the point now in the book where she has taken Viv shopping for things for the cafe, and she's just had her first cup of coffee and really liked it. But I do really like Tandra as well so far. I will say, because this is like my first fantasy book and it is high fantasy, I've had to Google a couple of things. So there's like some, I mean, what do you even call them, like racers? I mean, that's what they're called in Lord of the Rings, and that is really like my only reference point here. So like the different races, I've had to Google what some of them are. Like your bog standard ones that you do get in Lord of the Rings, like your dwarves, elves, orcs obviously. I know what those are, but there are a couple in here that I've come across and I was like, I have no idea what that is. So I've had to do a quick little Google, but it's not taking anything away from the story. Like, I'm learning. This is my first delve into fantasy. And like I said, my only reference point really is Lord of the Rings, but I do have to caveat that by saying it's the Lord of the Rings films, not the books. And this is going to sound really bad from someone who is so into books, but I cannot read the Lord of the Rings books. Like, no. So this is what I mean when I say like it is my first sort of delve into fantasy in novel form. I can just tell that this is going to be a really highly rated read. It just feels like a little hug in a book. Like, I can't even put my finger fully on what makes it so cozy, but it's just got a really nice warm feel to it. But yeah, until then, I'm getting in bed and I'll catch up with you in the morning. So, super quick update on Legends and Lattes. Like, I need to go to the gym in like 2 minutes, but I made it to page 107 last night and I'm absolutely loving it. You can tell like there's going to be some stuff happening soon, but I don't think it's going to be anything like super intense, because obviously that wouldn't fit with the cozy fantasy vibe. But yeah, you can tell like some stuff's going to go down soon. And yeah, but so far it's just really cute, like a really cute read, like a big comforting hug, and I absolutely adore it. I'm definitely going to be buying the second one straight after I've read this. Like, so far this feels like a 5-star read to me, so I'm really excited to get on with a bit more of it later today, hopefully. So I couldn't really do much of an update on Legends and Lattes yesterday because I didn't really read any of it. Well, I read a couple of chapters while I was waiting for my phone to update and stuff, and then I didn't really get stuck into it properly until I went to bed. Apologies for all the layers and the look. But I went to a gym class this morning and I still need to wash my hair and stuff, which is a grim detail that none of you needed to know, but here we are. Also, it's absolutely freezing today, which is why I need my coffee to keep my hands nice and warm. Anyway, seems very fitting as well for Legends and Lattes. I am now on chapter 18 and 160 pages in. And I have honestly never read anything like this book. Since the last update, what has happened since then? Oh, new character alert, Thimble's now in it, and I think Thimble might be my favourite character, because who doesn't want like a little rat kind of character that'll make biscuits and cinnamon rolls for you? But yeah, I really like Thimble. He's a really cute character. He doesn't really speak much in the book, but apparently he is an epic baker. And yeah, he's just a really cute character. Things are starting to go down a little bit with Lack and the Madrigal, so it'll be interesting to see like how that pans out. Viv's old crew have just visited the cafe, and and Viv's like trying to figure out what she's going to do about like whether to pay the madrigal and stuff. So it'll be really interesting to see how that pans out, because obviously it's not going to be, well, I shouldn't imagine it's going to be like some big battle with it being a cozy fantasy. But yeah, so far so good. As you can see, I don't have that much of the book left. The actual story for Legends and Lattes, there's quite a bit at the back filled in. So the actual story for Legends and Lattes is like that much left. As you can, it's not focusing very well, but there's not a lot. All of this stuff is like extras, which we will chat about when we get to it. So I don't have too much of Legends and Lattes left to go. It may get finished today. It depends if I do any reading this evening before bed. I'm not sure like if my husband's going out or anything tonight. He's currently building a bed, so there's every chance that he's gonna go to the pub later. So we might get a decent stint at reading and a few more updates later on. But if not, it's gonna be when I go to bed, so the update will have to be in the morning. But yeah, I say so far so good. I definitely need to order Bookshops and Bone Dust now, because I want to move on to that. I want to say I want to get Bookshops and Bone Dust done this year, but I'm not sure if I will, because there's so many other things, and we'll be getting onto like the cozy Christmas reads soon as well. But yeah, absolutely great choice. Like, I love that this is one of the first books that I saw when before I even like started creating book talk content, and I'm so glad I was persuaded to read it, because I'm just loving it. And I've got some work to do, but all I want to do is sit and finish this, and I can't right now. So hopefully later on we can get a good stint at reading, and I'll catch up with you in a bit. I've been looking forward to this moment all day. So the Oodie is back on. I am about to make a gin and lemonade, and I'm going to get very cozy on the sofa, probably with my blanket, and read some more Legends and Lattes. So let's go. So it's reading update time. I look like a right egghead with my hair all clipped back like this, but anyway, I've made it to page 195 and chapter 22, and I am stopping there for now. I will probably read a little bit more in bed. I am also on my second gin and lemonade as well. Yeah, I probably will read a little bit more in bed, but my husband is on his way home now, so I am calling it a night with the reading update. So where are we up to? What has happened? Right, so Viv has now met the madrigal. See, I'm going to say it was uneventful. But that sounds really bad. That makes it sound really boring. It wasn't boring at all. It was just a lot different to what I thought it would be. But again, it very much fitted with the cozy fantasy vibes. So she struck a deal with the madrigal now. But there is still the issue of... I want to say he's pronounced Fennis. It like one of her old crew members. They never really got along. So there's still an issue with him that is currently ongoing. So I feel like that's going to come to some sort of conclusion very soon. What else have we got going on? Thimble is just being an amazing baker and has now invented like chocolate croissants or pain au chocolat. And yeah. And then what else have we got? Oh, and like the storyline between Viv and Tandri is now like heating up, but not in like a spicy way, because again it's cozy fantasy, so it's just very much like feelings and a little bit of tension building between them. And there's no spice in this if you've made it this far in this vlog and you've not read this book. But yeah, so like their relationship is building up now, and you're sort of reading that and willing Viv and Tandri to just say how they feel about each other and get together. So I'm waiting for that moment. I have come across nothing in this book so far that I can say is negative, anything that I haven't liked. No, To me, this book is perfect. Good morning, although it's nearly afternoon now. But I'm just going to do, wow, I'm trying to open my coffee and it's really tight. Quick reading update on Legends and Lattes while I'm making a coffee, if I can even get into it. We're in. I didn't read too much more last night after the last update. I think I only read a couple of chapters. I am planning on finishing the book today. I think I've got like about 120 pages left, something like that, maybe a bit less. So yeah, nothing too much went down after the update last night. What did I read? So, Fennis showed up again looking for the Scarlet Stone. I can't work out if there's going to be something more to that or if that storyline has ended with it being a cozy fantasy, because the giant cat that lives in Viv's cafe has shown up and Fennis ran away. So I can't work out if there's going to be more to that or if that's resolved now. Like, nothing obviously like major went down. But then again, nothing major went down with the Madrigal either, with it being a cozy fantasy. So I can't work out if that is just it now or if there will be more to that. But I guess we'll find out in a little bit. And I think that is pretty much all that happened. I would say that Fennis is probably like the only character in the book now that you really don't like. Obviously you know all about the Madrigal at this point. And even Lack, who comes and collects all the stuff for the Madrigal, even isn't that bad now. Oh, no, that's a lie. There's Fennis and there's another character. I can't remember his name at all. I am so bad with things like this. I can't remember his name at all, but he's like after Tandre. He's a bit predatory in his behaviour with Tandre. Yeah, I don't think there's ever going to become a point where you like him either. But yeah, aside from that, I just need to crack on with the book and get it finished. There's obviously Legends and Lattes to finish, and I'll do an update after that, and then there's the pages to fill part to read as well, and I'll do another update after that. So it's going to be a while. I'm going to crack on and read it, and I'll be back when I am at the end of Legends and Lattes. So the Legends and Lattes part of Legends and Lattes is now finished. I'm at the end of the story. However, there is like a 30-page short story at the end of this called Pages to Fill, which is set in the same world and is still about Viv, I believe. So I am going to read that before we do the very last update. But I am now at the end of the story, and yeah, 5 out of 5 for me. I absolutely loved that. So I said in the update this morning that I didn't know how the Fennis storyline would play out. It turned out there was a lot more to that when I started reading after that update. So Fennis did indeed come back and burn the entire cafe to the ground. But it looks as though by the end he got his comeuppance with the cat. So that was all good. But that storyline, it was a lot more, not intense in the way like it is in other books, but it went a bit deeper than I thought it would for a cozy fantasy. It was a good element to it, because then it could bring in like the whole like found family aspect with everyone helping Viv rebuild the cafe, and then obviously Viv and Tandre's relationship progressing as well. It is classed as sapphic, and there are like obviously woman loving woman elements in it, but there's nothing like in detail. It's just very like little mentions here and there, so there wasn't too much on Viv and Tandre's relationship. I thought it might go a little bit deeper than what it did. I would really like to see another book. I know there's Bookshops and Bone Dust, but that is set before this, so I would really like to see another book that is set after this and sort of delves into the cafe a little bit more, like the friendships that Viv has built up and the relationship between Viv and Tandre. But we shall just have to see if that is something that we get. But all in all, I absolutely loved it. I think from the very first time he was mentioned right until the end of the book, Cal remained my favourite character in this. I don't know why, absolutely loved Cal. I am going to go and read the short story now, Pages to Fill. Like I say, it's about 30 pages long, I think, and then I will come back and do an update about that, and then this will be the end of the very first reading vlog. And that is me all done. Also, we've got a little friend, you can only just see the top of his head, but Dobby's come to join in. But that is me all done now. So I finished the Pages to Fill short story that was in here. It's set like just before Legends and Lattes, so Viv is still with her crew and they were tracking someone, which was like the main bulk of the story, but she then lets that person go, and it ends with Viv discovering coffee for the first time, which is then where she got her idea from to open her own cafe and leave her old life behind. So yeah, I enjoyed the little short story. It was a nice little addition. Nice to see like how Viv discovered coffee and came to the idea of leaving the crew and stuff. It probably wasn't as good as the Legends and Lattes story, but obviously it was only a 30-page story as well. But overall, highly recommend this book. Like, I defy you not to fall in love with every single character in here, apart from the two that you're not supposed to like. But yeah, even the ones that start out unlikable, they do become very likeable in it. As I said, apart from two of them, Fennis and... I am actually going to find the name of the other one, so bear with me. Fennis and Kellyn, that's the other one that I couldn't remember earlier, Kellyn. So yeah, apart from those two, everyone else in the book, totally lovable. Let me know if you've read this and what you thought of it. I would love to know if you enjoyed it as much as me. And I really loved doing this first reading vlog. It was great to like really think about the book as I was going along and chat about it as I read each section. So yeah, there'll definitely be more reading vlogs in the future. So keep an eye out for those, and I will see you guys next time.